Welcome, my friends, to Center of Light, where my aim is always to be clear. Good shit happens when we're clear. Not so good shit happens when we're not. And when the mind is clear of all the impurities, all the imbalances, all the cray-cray nonsense, and that which lives inside of all of us begins to push, welcome to 2020, through the gate. Believe it or not, we always call the heart the gate, which it is. Have we ever entertained, gave credence to the deliciousness and the beauty of the mind? Everybody wants to shut the mind off. I want to shut my mind off, the not so good mind. I want to move it to the va, na, the mind, na, yanava. And va, the backbone, carries out the simple commands of my egoistic self, my cray-cray nonsense, or the wishes of my father, which truly is the wishes of yourself. Because there is a core that lives in you that is crystal clear. That's where your mother, father, divine principle wants to say, remember us, center of light. Tonight we are speaking about, let me do a refresh on something real quick. Welcome all you sexy human creatures, dear Lord. Welcome to Center of Light. Tonight we are speaking about, per request of my sister, Rena. She said, Keith, what about waking up? I've done quite a few presentations on that subject-ish, but because she asked, she deserves a response, a heart response. And I, without a doubt, there's something in it for me. What is in it for me? I just get to sit in this chair with this beautiful set, with this beautiful technology I have, and hang out with you sexy fine folk. That's what I get from it. Lewis, what's up, brother? Let's see who's here. Let's see who's here. Brandy, what's up, Brandy? The sailors say, Brandy, you're a fine girl. What a good wife you would be. Dana Trotter's going shopping, y'all. What's up, Lee Gotro, my childhood friend? Jamie. Let's keep going. I'm curious to know why maybe I turned something off. One moment. I have had to. I didn't. That's strange. I'm learning technology. I'm always learning technology. I love technology. In fact, oh my God, Center of Light's tagline is Center of Light. Spiritual technologies. That is exactly what we're talking about tonight. Spiritual technology. Tonight's presentation, it's always Center of Light, but tonight it is called Center of Light, Sunrise, S-U-N, or Sun, S-O-N, rise. Waking up the process. It can be a messy one. But you have to allow yourself in what you think is the mess to become something very, very beautiful. And in so understanding, regulating, being present with that, willing that very thing forth, you are truly watering the garden. But in order to ever get to the garden, you have to get to the gate. This is the gate. Right there. That's the gate. That gate can be muddled and full of murky water, and it will cause you nothing but absolute trouble. Some people like trouble. They do. Because that's truly, and it's not making light of it, but actually, that's exactly what it is. It's making light of it. They enjoy trouble because it's all they know. That's not so good. But some people do know better. And they want trouble anyway because it's excitement. They rather their life be crazy, off the cuff, bang, 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 than have no movement or feeling at all. That is the true motivating factor for everyone that has ever been created. It is a technology. It is a spiritual technology. There's nothing that is not spiritual. Hello, Janelle. There's nothing that is not spiritual. Spiritual applies and comes into the experience in this way because we're trying to compare what is or isn't spiritual according to the mind's standards. That's a very usable tool. There has been upgrades, literally, metaphorically. Up, God, spirit, grades, which is the mind is a stepping stone, provided one understands the awakening process to use the very mind that shackled them in fear and has imprisoned them for God knows how long. And I don't mean since you are a child. I mean since you've been on this ongoing dance in the circle of life, the ongoingness of life, beyond what you know as you stepping foot on this planet, and or shedding your skin and sprouting your wings when you leave. So we're in this wheel. It's the motion of the universe. Everything is always moving. Everything is always not only cyclical in this two-dimensional aspect, but because you don't have holograms and I don't have holographic cameras, there is a 3D-ness to this beautiful clear orb, and it sits right there. God is the center point that exists as the foundation of everything, even those things that you would swear are terrible, horrible, awful, this, that, and the other. The waking up process is admitting to ourselves that God is the center point that lives in me and everyone else. That starts the journey, the true journey. Everyone is on a journey, but the conscious journey ensues, engages, imbies, incorporates. What's the other word I'm looking for? Another beautiful word. It'll come to me. I'm still thinking of that word. Infused. Two things are fused. Things, not two things. All things are fusing because it comes from within. And that which is within, every human, every things that you may not even think are things, those things that you can't perceive to be a something as you might know it to be, is imbued with a hologram. The wholeness of God. God is omnipresent, present in all places at all times. There is no place it is not except fear. God is omnipresent. It's in every light particle, every photon. Step outside of your house on a blue sky day and find a patch of nice blue sky and relax your eyes. You will see individual units of light, photons, everywhere. God is impregnated. In fact, God's not in those photons. God is not in you. It is you. There is nothing else. If God is the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end, and what we know as our, hopefully, joyful lives, what is all that in between? The Alpha, I am the beginning, and the Omega, I am the end. Let me tell you what that is. It's exactly that. It's pure. It's potent. It's all-knowing. It's everywhere. It knows that. Do you know that? we automatically want to take oh, I get that it's everywhere. Have you excluded yourself? Well, I'm here, so I get it. God's everywhere. God's omnipresent all around me. That's not it either. That's not what it is at all. It's not like I'm here in this meat suit as a spiritual being having a human experience from the essence of my core, my soul, that place where when I do go home to God, Father, Mother, Principle, Divine Principle, that's just where I'm going to be. You're already there now. You haven't left. This is all just a ride. And so what it really comes down to is to not only see that, well, I get it. God is omnipresent. It's everywhere. Many people immediately, conscious, unconscious actually, leave themselves out. It doesn't mean God is everywhere, outside you. It's the awareness that you have of God being outside you, because it takes one to know one. You cannot recognize what we would use the word God to describe if you don't have it in yourself to understand what it is. If no one ever told you or showed you the color green, I can tell you, I can describe to you green, like on Swamiji's garb. I can say, but it's almost like blue. It's like yellow too, though. Can you imagine sandwiching those two together and go, let me try. I kind of got an idea. That's called belief. Kind of got an idea. And with this kind of guy, has got an idea of what I want in my awakening process. I kind of got an idea. If I describe to you yellow and blue and how it creates green, but you've never seen green, that's called belief. I believe I got it. That's very dangerous ground. Beautiful ground in the awakening process. Center of light, sun, the sun, rise, a warm, beautiful day, because I'm waking up. I'm waking up. I'm stepping up to this new reality from being in a state of slumber. That's it. In fact, it doesn't care whether you agree, like, even massage yourself over the fact that it's it. It has no relationship to you as if it has an expectation of you. It's not a slave. It's not a slave to your thoughts in your head and what you think is truly divine or blasphemous. It does not have that relationship to us. And we continue to sling this stinky ass mud pile on this sacred, divine, sweet, holy ground. You will never step foot into the garden. You will never, ever in your life step foot into the garden with stank on you. But we're all getting better at it. Your religion is beautiful. Stay with it. In fact, turn up the fire. Surpass the religion that you walk itself by becoming a new leader, a frontier, a pioneer. To say, oh my gosh, no, oh my God, I understand what my God was trying to tell me. He's been telling me it's me, it's my responsibility. And now that we can see, we become spiritually illumined. It's not hard. It never has been. In fact, being hard and difficult we have robbed ourselves of our innocence. We're just children playing, or are we adults screwing around? Take that how you like, apply it where it's most needed. It'll have the greatest impact for yourself. My friend Robert Harrison sent me this as a gift. I've been touching this a lot. It means something to me. Not in the form that it's worship of an idol and it's a crystal ball and I'm going to read your future because I'm a fortune teller and I got satanic crop. It's none of that nonsense. It's something that means something beyond even my trying to understand. Why Creator, God, would ever put such a beautiful, simple idea in front of my face. You want to find God? Understand that. Understand it. Fall into it. Let it fall into you. And just marvel at it. Oh my God. What a beautiful creation of God this is. How can it not be? Believe it or not, everything in the universe, everything. The fact that you're hearing me, the fact that you're sitting on a chair, whatever it is you're doing, everything looks exactly like that. It may look like this with pure light behind it. It may look clear light behind it. It may look like this with a hint of blue, meaning there's another idea, because it's always white. Everything is always white. In the way we describe light, this would be the highest vibration, white light. No idea. There is no idea. There is no thought. All there is divine presence. Now, when you introduce a filter, the mind becomes engaged, because in the white light is everything. So now we have something other than the white light, which is everything, which is there's a separation from the absolute and the pure to, we're going to put a blue filter on it. Now you have blue light. Well, likewise, perfect mind or non-perfect mind, a clear na or an unclear na. That pure white light is still going to push its pure white light, but there's now a filter in the way, and it's called blue. Blue can be the color of your eyebrow chakra, which is indigo, because you're now awoken. The sun has risen in you. The S-U-N has risen in you. The S-O-N has risen in you. That would be blue. Or your life can be blue. I don't feel so well today. I feel blue. Analogously, we introduce filters. So between what we know, assume, sully and soil in our poor attempt to reach that, lots of things can go awry. Everyone's intent to be with that for eternity is always there. But the mind has a hell of a bang. We made a choice somewhere a long time ago to say, I want to go hang out in a meat suit for a little while. Well, you have a huge responsibility. Huge. In fact, Donald Trump said, huge, long, big responsibility. Big. Okay, I'm willing to do that. Can I just hurry up and get down there? All right. Sign your name right here. In fact, your signature and agreement and the contract you made with conscious reality before you stepped onto this rock is logged in the Akashic Hall of Records. You don't believe me? Learn Akashic Hall of Records research and Center of light, awakening. What is it like to wake up? Just like it was yesterday. This morning, rather. Before you got your coffee. Just simply to wake up. The reason you ran away from those wolves, those tigers, and those bears that were trying to maul you when you were sleeping last night, because you thought it was real. But even if you would have let them eat you alive in that experience, you still would have woken on up this morning, only to look back on said experience and go, it's a process. It's waking up. The self begins to turn within the self. And we realize that we really don't dream, because a part of us right now is dreaming as well. Even though our physical eyes are open, there's a part of us that still sleeps. And sometimes it takes our physical eyes to be closed for us to actually escape through the window of consciousness. This is what waking up is. It's waking up. It's truly just waking up. Let me share with you some of the notes I wrote just before I hit go live. By the way, Lavender Soul CDs, my spiritual band, I'm going to play some shortly. I'm selling them for $5. You pay the shipping. Let me know. It will be just like that. Tonight's presentation is waking up spiritually. But waking up, it will be just like waking up in the morning. Just like it. But some people wake up in the morning ready for their day. In fact, when I toss and turn at that hour, I don't care what time it is, I'm done. And I start my day. And that's cool, and you probably, and many of you would do the same. Ready for the day. The sun has risen. S-U-N has risen. The S-O-N in me has risen. I'm passionate. So I got the fire. And for some people, they hit snooze a lot. And they wake up groggy. Everyone might wake up groggy once in a while, but some people, it's become an unconscious habit. So they hit snooze, hit snooze, hit snooze. Waking up groggy is likely going to happen, even in the spiritual waking upness of things. Especially when you begin to learn, understand, and or finally see what is actually going on. Did you have a good sleep last night? Did you sleep hard? Good dreams during your sleep? Or nightmares? Did you snore? I want to give you the definition of waking up. This applies on all levels, even on this physical plane when we wake up every morning. That feeling, even in death. As I described earlier, that when that bear or that coyote was chasing you and wanted to eat you alive, you ran because you thought it was real, only to wake up to realize it wasn't. Only through life, when we die, ironically, is when we wake up another rung. We move up another level, because that bear that would have really chased you in the woods in a waking state here, when he killed you and you came to a state of consciousness there, you go, oh my God, I should have ran from that bear. I could have let him maul me. Insane. It's all the same. So here's the definition of waking up. It's a verb. Parentheses, often followed by up, close. To rouse or become roused from sleep. Often followed by up. To rouse or become roused from inactivity. I always talk about being still in the gate, be still and know. But now I simply want to do something. I'm in a state of being. I'm a human being. And when I choose a something with my na, back it up with my ya, carry it out with my va, I begin to affect the entire universe. So much so, it starts the infinite process to absolutely nowhere to bring about the very thing I have just willed forth. That's called karma, called union. I am aligning myself with the power of the divine secret, the divine power that lives in me, and using the best that I can to think as clearly as possible, or knuckleheaded nonsense. And everything I do with my backbone, I will truly walk and literally, physically create it with every step I take. That is called waking up to the power that lives in all of us right here, right now, this second, this minute, this hour. That's how you begin to shower yourself with divine grace. Is the waking up. It's a beautiful thing. I will warn you. Continue with the definition of waking up. To become conscious or aware. At last, he woke to the situation, to be or remain awake. That is a real place, and I can prove it to you. Keith is such a fairy tale guy. No, it's not. If you understood in concept the garden, the words I used to describe ideas, principles, models, I don't feed you or impregnate you with information, though that somewhat applies, and it truly seems that way. That's not what's happening. I'm using these utterances that we created to fashion our resource of language, the dictionary, so that "what's up, y'all" means to say, "how you doing?" Beyond all that, there's something else happening, and it doesn't require Webster's to depict it to us. That is where the greater bang of information exists. That's where it's at. So the waking up process is truly taking that yawn, that stretch from coming out of twilight and hopefully, God knows, deliciously into the light. Things simply become bright because we can see everything beyond what I have just described, to whatever degree rung down the ladder one chooses to descend, becomes more noise. There's nothing anyone can do about what I just said. Nothing. If the light of absolute pure consciousness that lives in everyone, seek ye the kingdom of God within, my Father's in me, I am in you, and we all in each other. Anything that does not represent to the nth degree becomes noise. Am I there yet? I've had beautiful glimpses of it, and I want it. I want to put that needle in my arm. Many of you do. What a great drug. Love. Godsmack. Waking up. Here are some characteristics and things that will be required of anyone that chooses not only to wake up to the possibility of you being the it of it all, will sound something like this. On any level, even for spiritualists out there, it's all the same. I don't want to give away the key word yet, because the key word has impact beyond just a word. That's why I'm saying it. So now that I've roused you, massaged you to salivate for this word, it's going to have even a greater effect on you. Because when you get the aha, you go, ooh. So it's all about the expansion of energy, expansion of one's mind. That's called waking up. So let me give you these qualities. In order to fully awaken, you have to take responsibility for everything. Every single thing which operates under the umbrella of the divine whole. So everything is fragments. Everything are fragments of the divine whole hologram. Hala, whole, holy, gram. You are a gram that exists within everything. The first way, it's truly the first brick in the building of a house. If you're trying to erect your spiritual consciousness, your spiritual temple, this is the temple. Jesus said so, Sacred Heart. He's pointing right at it, looking directly in your eye. When you begin to erect that that backbone, in order for anything to happen, to have a balanced house whatsoever, is taking responsibility for everything that is, and will ever happen to you. That is the cyclical nature of the truth, the most powerful law in the universe that will launch you beyond linear time to be with the deities themselves. I take responsibility. I am not a victim. That's number one. And until then, you will always be a novice, not even trying for advanced. And nowhere in sight is master. What a master. Sit in a valley. Someone behind the tree had a bow and they were going to assassinate him with an arrow. Would the master misfire the bow? Would he make it miss him completely by deflecting it? A real master would not be in that situation in the first place. That's the law. That's called waking up. You don't have to like what's happening to you outside in this world. You don't. It's okay. In fact, explore that not being mad, but explore that being mad without the guilt that you're being mad. Because you compound your problem and you never allow it to run its course. And of course, you continue the same narcissistic, nonsensical cycle. And now that I brought that to your attention, and if you go, oh my God, is that what I'm doing? Now you just compounded your situation again. I'm calling it out, not calling you out. I want you to see it honestly. Just look at it. But it requires to be quiet and just simply look. So the first part would be taking responsibility. The second one, I know you like having fun. You want to have some fun? You have to let go of everything you think to be anything at all. Taking responsibility will take you from here to here. You woke up. Congratulations. Good on you. Now you're here. The next level is going to be the principle I just named, which is you have to let go of your current experience. Not that it's a bad one, mind you, but that you deserve better. And if that's what you truly, truly want for yourself, you have to let go because there's more waiting. God is infinite because there's always more waiting. God is infinite and there's always more waiting. And there's always more waiting and always more waiting. And the trick to get what you want instead of always more waiting is to find God itself. And then you realize there's nothing you want for because you're so fulfilled inside. Nothing else is important, nor does it matter. Now, we engage upon this plane because we care. We're empathic, we love, we assert, we serve. That's all important as well. But I'm talking about the waking up process. As above, so below, on forever it will go. The next principle is, remember I told you I was going to save that special word until it was time? Here it is. In order to truly live, this is not metaphorical at all. It applies on all levels very literally. In order to fully live, to become aware of the life current that we know as omnipresent, that sustains all of creation, and truly that's all there is we have to melt. We have to have what we know as ourselves completely die. You have to die. It's been told in even fundamental religion, when you die, if you're good, you get to see God. Well, let's use that in a different way. When you die, if you do things correctly or you did it good, congratulations, you get to see greater capacities of your maker. Likewise, if you want to experience that thing on physical, on any level, levels you don't even know you have, hoping that you are praying, that you are asking it to reveal itself to you in its allness, along comes with encrypted information. In that encrypted information is principles, visions of other worlds, visions of other beings, other realities, other possibilities. You begin to see your own infinity when you're willing to die. It can be tough. Religion, politics, habits, the world, the news, the X, the future, this, that. Those are what you can call toys. That's toys. Beautiful toys they are. They're just simply toys. And you're playing. Are you having fun yet? You have to die. You have to let go of Donald Trump. I'm sorry. I like Trump. I think he's a buffoon. And that's a compliment. I like the guy. I don't know all of his politics. I see some good in him, and so I'm going to look at the good. And so vice versa. My point is, how are you playing in the sandbox? Are you playing nice? I have my moments. But some part of you has to die on all levels. As above, so below, on forever. It will go. And finally, before I take a commercial pause, you have to be willing to want peace at all cost. Lewis, thank you for your generous, beautiful gift. Lewis Machi, thank you. You have to be willing to die. Everything you know to be a this and or a that has to be willing to go. Doesn't mean you can't live on this earth plateau and continue your life. It's just that there's an absolute clarity behind it. Clarity, literally, is synonymous with waking up. Just see. Don't judge. You don't have to like this person or this group of people doing said thing. Now that you've done that, now what? Put that aside. You played with that toy for a little while. How did it feel? Well, it felt like somebody threw me a potato and the potato was a little bit too hot and you dropped it. Clumsily, stupidly, many people, including myself, out of habit and instillment, would pick up the same hot potato or the same hot rock. What does it take? It took me a hot rock. It took me a relationship that went bad. After a 10-year relationship went bad. It's the most sacred ground I've ever walked on, which was the dark night of that soul, of this soul, was the most sacred experience of my life. In that, I found something. I was scared. I had nothing. When it ended, I didn't have myself. Didn't even have myself. And it was through homecoming, crossing the bridge to the conscious soul. I found something. I found something. And it looks like everything that's beautiful in this world. And strangely, it even looks like everything that's not so beautiful. If you could see, understand what I am sharing with you, that is called waking up. Strangely, even the ugly becomes beautiful. That ugly relationship breakup I had, it was ugly. It was the devil. And I was wrong. It turned out to be what I needed to wake up. Because that part of me, of what I thought was important, had to die to live. So what I called the devil, that girl leaving me, was God saying, I've never left you. Wow.
She turned to me and told me life was not too easy unless you can let go. I lay surprised at the simpleness of her soul. Wasting away in a sea of uncertainty. She had stayed with me for days. I needed love in so many different ways. She floated through the room, and as I cried, she was there to dry them too. Hold me, and don't let go. Hold me, never Angel of love, will you always be with me, so I can let go? Reveal to me the beauty of your soul. I turned away, her light was so blinding, the energy of her love. She said goodbye and turned into a dove. As I watched, she floated through the room, and as I cried, she was there to dry them too. Hold me, and don't let go. Hold me, never leave. Hold me, and don't let go. Hold me, never leave. Never She turned to me, told me life was not too easy unless you can let go. Reveal to me the beauty of your soul.
Welcome back to Center of Light. Robert, thank you very much. I love this thing. I'm in love with this thing. That is clarity. Without it, why we have disparity. It's not fun. It's not fun. We're longing for something. Even in our silence, not knowing what to do, we are longing for something. Hello, Robert. Hello, Joe. What's up, bro? From the Divine Principle, my bestseller, 1996. 1996. That is important. I knew when I was vesseling this scripture, I truly treat it that way. When I was vesseling this scripture, I knew it was going to apply to definitely after 2012-ish, this period. I knew it was not a then book. Spirit says, you always get what you ask for. No prayer remains unanswered, though sometimes it may seem to be that way. Even a prayer that comes from lack is answered, and since lack can only beget lack, if you ask Spirit to help you be irresponsible, remember I told you earlier, the first thing in the spiritual awakening movement that you have to be to ever step foot into the path to the garden of your soul is you have to take responsibility. If you ask Spirit to help you be irresponsible, then so be it. If you expect any deity to unburden your troubled souls, you will all be waiting for a very long time. Why should anyone other than you assume your responsibility? And I say, I don't know. Why? Because my system is not designed to work any other way. Because the Lord helps those who help themselves. Because heaven on earth cannot be anchored until everyone assumes my kind of responsibility! Exclamation point. Now is the time to assess yourself, in a way that you have not done before. Believe me, denial is not that river in Egypt. Denial only creates piles of confusion, kind of like dog poop. You inevitably step in because you do not see. To help yourself out of the mess you are in, you must wear responsible shoes and walk responsibly in them. Responsibility only comes when you embrace your entire self, fears and all. Hello, Nathan. Hello, Deanie. Give my daddy a sugar. Reading from the Divine Principle, my bestseller. I say to Spirit, I wish I could just throw all my fears in the trash can. Honest question, isn't it? You know what I'm saying, right? Spirit says, if you could, Keith, along with that toss would go the wisdom that shapes you. For both are parts of your perfect design. And besides, if you did not have the fears you have, you would be someone else. What you can do is change what fear means to you. See it as a tool to get clear, basically. See it as a tool to help you unfold the wisdom you have within. You are the dreamer. You are your own creator, almighty, and yes, Keith, but all of us. It is you who have been making this up for a very long time. In fact, for an eternity. I am pleased to tell you that you are getting much better at the making up process. I see you manifesting reality with effortless ease and some in sleep states of consciousness. And I know that your goal is to be able to do this in the waking world. Welcome to Center of Light, Sun, S-U-N, sunrise, or S-O-N, sunrise, within us. I am pleased to tell you that you're getting much better at the making up process. I see you manifesting reality with effortless ease in sleep states of consciousness. And I know that your goal is to be able to do this in the waking world. We need to wake up. Heaven and earth, the garden. But because of your repeated mistakes, you have been stuck in time, trapped between realms. The truth is, you are in perfect placement. Have you thought about that? The truth is, you are in perfect placement to get to the other side of stuck, which is freedom. You all are so close. So close. Boy, that massaged my heart. Thank you, Spirit. And I asked the question, what do I do to keep getting closer? Again, call a meeting with the two aspects of yourself and have a healing session. Go inside and embrace your pain. Invite it. Feel it. Then change what it means to you by recognizing from your heart's perspective the beauty of your predicament. And of course I do. And I say, what do you mean by the beauty of my predicament? That I am with you every moment, just waiting to give you the gift of your true self. Dear one, you must do as you have done before and ask, God, where are you in this illusion that overwhelms me? Then step outside of it and watch me to go to work on your situation. But stay aware of my every move, so you will know when it's time for you to step back in. It gives me immense joy to be consciously recognized by you. The very same joy you get when you know you are recognized by me. This is how you anchor this is how you anchor me, Spirit, within you, and come aboard the good ship home boundward. Keith, I see you as a slumbering aspect of myself. So, as your loving parent, I say to you, hey, sleepyhead, are you not ready to get up and start your eternal day? My divine child, awaken and use your God-given instincts as your guide. Your whole life awaits. And I say, what do you mean by instinct, and where does it come from? Spirit says, instinct is life's common thread of knowing and purpose. It comes from all previous times to guide you on the right path, the path to Spirit. And I say, I see. It is not enough to see. You must look. And ye shall seek me and find me when ye shall search for me with all your heart. Jeremiah 29:13-14. Continuing with Spirit and the divine principle. We'll take a short pause. I'll be right back. Final segment. This is a lot of the divine principle it's all direct messages, but it's information. This is my point is this is deliberately saying, I want to shoot you, me, because I was the author, but you, as a taker-inner, this is direct, more direct. To all my children, for the world to attain heaven on earth, things cannot be as they are now. It will take all nationalities, quarantine is doing that. It will take all nationalities coming together to achieve the goal of love, peace, and unity. Trust that I will guide you in whatever you do. Just remember to breathe and do your very best to live in love, give in love, be in love, and love you shall receive. It is time to embrace yourselves, embrace all of humanity, and embrace the earth. Do this, and you embrace God. Join me. Why not the quote I just read from the Divine Principle? Live in love, be in love, give in love. That's the song right here.
Trust that I will guide you in whatever you do. Just remember to breathe and do your very best to live in love, give in love, be in love, and love you shall receive.
when God is by my side. There is nothing I need to know. All the wisdom's in my soul. All along I knew the way. Time has told me every day to breathe, breathe and expand myself, to know there is no one else but me and God who's in my heart. So I'll breathe, breathe and expand myself and know there is no one else but me and God.
Welcome to Center of Light. Tonight we are speaking about Center of Light sunrise. The sunrise. Every day morning we watch the sunrise. Also the sun, the Christ principle, it's not necessarily a sun. Why they give it patriarchal importance, it's actually irrelevant. It's a level of awareness, consciousness, that which is precious, that which is a divine. Center of Light sunrise, or the sunrise, the lotus flower rising out of murky water, the phoenix rising, the rebirth of the Christ, and so forth. Waking up, the process. The best part of waking up is wanting it in your cup. I approve this message. My name is Keith Anthony Blanchard. You just have to want to wake up. It doesn't mean that your way is right, wrong, indifferent, bad, good. It doesn't mean any of that. It's the wanting of a something that is beyond what we would call normal. Yes, I understand everyone strives for betterment. A lot of people take what they think they deserve. Only get what they think they deserve. And take it. But do we ever reach for the golden ring? And it will always be out of your experience. It's the reaching that brings us to the level of the grabbing, the reaching the goal. That's waking up. I get it. We live in a very real, redonkulous situational world. I get it. I'm in it. That's why I get it. But I also get something else. Something else that has been waiting for eons of time to be birthed within every human being. It's always been that way. Let the love of God fall upon you. It's always been that way. Time to celebrate who you are. You are perfect in every way. Is a world apart from a man in fear. There might be a better way to appear. There's a time to trust. There's a time to know. And there's a time to sow who you are. Now is the time. What garment are you sowing? Are you reaping consciously exactly what you're sowing? Is your life a so what? Then you will always blame so-and-so for your folly. Wake up is the presentation tonight. The first part, the first spiritual principle. In fact, they just poured a foundation because you got a new house that you're going to pay for. A new house, a new consciousness. You're trying to erect a new house. And you're going to pay for it. Oh, you can bet your sweet ass you are going to pay for it. Until you realize that the word free will really means just that. Until you understand that you don't have pay will. You may have PayPal, which I do. Help me out. You may have free will. So your free will means it's free. You are free to make the choice. And in your free will, are you being bound, imprisoned, falling asleep, or simply, are you just had a dream last night? You woke up and, oh wow, I ran from that bear and that tiger because they were trying to get me. And when you realize they could have got you. People say often that if you fall asleep, when you're sleeping at night and you dream that you're falling off a cliff, if you hit the bottom, you're going to die. I've heard that for so long in my life. I became hyper aware. Falling off of a cliff, no joke, absolutely, I swear on my son, who's in that room right there. I became so hyper aware of myself in the experience. I said, I'm going to hit the ground because I knew I was in sleepscape. When I hit the ground, it was just a bang. And then I appeared into some other place. And then shortly thereafter, I woke up. I woke up, but I woke up from this slumber. It was definitely integral, depending on how you want to pronounce it. It was definitely important in my waking up process. So waking up does not mean you have to exit, discard those things that you use as catalysts to bring you deeper into a truth that is beyond the catalyst itself. You want to have happen to you something beyond the stepping stone that you have been standing on. Because if you don't, you're still standing on the stepping stone. That, again, as I said earlier, is called belief. I believe that where I am gives me security, solace, a false sense of balance, actually. So the next level, after you take responsibility, is You got to let go of everything. You just got to let it go. You can be mad. You can be upset. I am a wordsmith. I failed English 4 times, so I had to quit school, which I did. I'm glad I did. And I failed typing twice. And that's exactly what my life is now about, because I have a passion in it. I didn't like the academia of it. At least at that time in my adolescence, my mindset was, I don't really give a shit. And so I want to use these words deliberate. You have to let go of everything. Everything. This, that, your beliefs, your stepping stones. That's all beliefs. I'm a Republican. I'm a Democrat. I'm an independent. I'm a libtard. What a horrible thing to say. Unless you just simply pissed off. Mad means an ongoing disposition of pouting. Being pissed off is a conversation, it says. This is how I feel. This is how I'm expressing myself. As being one opposed of said idea that does have an effect on everyone in the same swimming pool. That's called freedom. That's called the voice. Being free. It's not called hiding behind a mask, breathing carbon dioxide, hoping that someone can hear me and what I have to say. I understand the protocol. I get it. Don't inject me anymore. I get it. Tell me what I need to do to be a better human being and a more healthy human being. I get all that. So I can't hear what you're trying to tell me. I understand respecting other people. But when respecting other people comes at the expense of not respecting yourself, you in that regard are lying to yourself because you're not respecting the others, because you can't do that until you respect yourself. So if people have an issue with who you are and how you are, provided you have no ill intent to impinge, infringe, impose your will upon them, that is beyond something that is ridiculous, and you know it from soul to bones, it's okay. Use this as a measurement stick, a gauge, a barometer for your life. And if you want to back off even further, the one I offered as the most rigid, to use a word, on purpose, rule of this is what it is, there is nothing else. Now, if you want to soften, lower the curve, you can do that on the teaching. The teaching is, this is it, there is nothing else. That's the teaching. Now, if you want to paint shades of gray to make it a little more palatable, that's allowed. Know that it can delay your time of peace. And I think that's one of the next principles coming up. Take responsibility. Nothing happens until you take absolute responsibility, even for the bad people in your life. You have to let go enough that allows you to take responsibility that you were ever a victim. Here's the one that everyone usually has a tough time with. What you know as you has to die. Scripture, biblically, fundamentally, Christianly, fundamentally, this religionly, so forth, is always about, in order for us to awaken, we will unite with God when we die, provided we are good. I would like to pose a new idea. How about when we do things right and or good, we become aware of that very reality, which is the underlying force that not only creates but sustains everything that we think is either holy or blasphemous. There is nothing else. There is nothing else. And finally, other than taking responsibility, letting go of everything, which creates the death in you. When you let go of everything, you will die. In life, afterlife, pre-life, cosmic infinite life stream, Every time we allow ourselves to die, the Christ within us, which is omnipresent, which is everything, begins to flush through our experience. Finally, you have to realize, want peace at all costs. You can't escape from that. You, me, we, whoever, to get to the first brick that has been laid as the foundation of the house, the erection of the va, the backbone, Yah, God, the power to make things, to have anything ever happen, the na, the mind that steers what is going to happen, regardless of whether you are or are not clear, my dear. And the va has no choice but to say, yes, master. It can be delicious and graceful, or it can be a beautiful disaster. You have to want peace at all costs. All costs. All costs. There is no exception. That's it. Well, I don't know how. You missed it. You have to want peace at all costs. Yeah, but you don't understand. You missed it. I've missed it. We all miss it. The law is permanent. It doesn't fudge. It doesn't budge. We paint ideas around the spike of the light. Sometimes we do it in spite of ourselves. Tonight's presentation is Center of Light. Sun, S-U-N. Sun, S-O-N, rise. Sunrise. Waking up the process. Waking up. The process of waking up is this. That's the answer. What was that, Keith? What's the answer? Here you go. Hello, Dagny, Danielle, June. So the answer to waking up is this. Check it out. This is the answer to spiritual awakening. Right here. I'm about to tell you what it is. That's awakening. It's a real simple thing. I'm still learning it myself. I am still earning it myself. And the excitement that unfolds because of such a process of turning within becomes ever rewarding. And there's no possible way of ever disregarding that again. When you get a taste, someone says, have you tasted this new thing? It's called awesome sauce. You go, well, no, I haven't. Grès poupon, but of course. And they give you a little dab. When you truly get a taste of the berry juice that oozes through your divine mother's bosom teats that we've all been suckling on, otherwise we couldn't exist. We're just being little selfish brats, and we want more. We want other shit. We want other things. And in so doing, we lose sight of where we are. We're always trying to get somewhere. And in so doing, we lose sight of where we are. And where we are is the place everyone wants, future timeline-wise, what it seems to be. We keep overlooking the truth. which is there is nothing. You're not going anywhere. You are on an infinite journey to absolutely no fucking where. You're not going anywhere. Unless you're going somewhere. Where are you going? Are you going further within? That takes you to the nowhere. Alice in Wonderland you are. Into the rabbit hole. Or is it taking you time after time after time after time after oodles of time and experience, and it's hard on you. It's like gravity, it's drag, it's dread, and life is pulling you further down into the cesspool. That's it. There is no other way. It's wanting to fill your cup. What's the song? Folgers? What's the Folgers theme song? Fill your cup. Wanting it in your cup. It's truly a wanting. Many of us are awakened, and we are still awakening to other levels. Share with me your nuggets, please. I'm asking, as I will always do. How far do you want to go? How deep do you want to go? It's a question, really. Danielle says, where are you going? Further within? Yeah. Thank you, everyone. My name is Keith Anthony Blanchard. Let me just close my eyes. It just helps me to get out of the distraction and what I call spirit, but it's really not. It's all the same thing. You are a spirit, the one hearing it. It's all the same thing. It's all the same dance. There may be two partners, but it's one dance. It's only one song. It always deduces down to one. In fact, that's not the truth either. There's the greatest truth. Well, Keith, everything has to at least deduce back to the lowest common denominator. That is not the lowest common. Well, that is the lowest common denominator. But the highest common denominator is zero. There's nothing. And in that nothing is everything. In between everything is the empty space of absolute soul. Absol. The absolute. Absolute nothing. Because out of that very nothing, that is the cosmic womb. That is the womb of your divine cosmic mother. And through that, all things and creation are birthed. That's waking up. Realizing that you can literally pull yourself back. You can do it right now. Just close your eyes and pull yourself back. Well, that seems like I'm imagining something. Well, that's exactly what you are doing. You're imagining it into existence. I have made you, the Father. I have made you in my likeness, my image and my likeness. And so as you think in the image, the likeness begins to happen in the similitude of God. What are you seeing? What are you being, and what are you freeing? Waking up. It's a very simple process. It truly has nothing to do with that. Not only does it have to do with this, it has to do with so much of being engaged, involved, infused, incorporate with this, that I'm willing to do that. I'm willing to let the this in me do whatever it wants. It is scary. That can be, it is. You have this passion to jump out of a perfectly good airplane. As much as you want to do this, I don't give a shit who you are. When they open that door and you hear that wind go, and you see that expanse, maybe you're a skydiver, reincarnated, and don't have that fear. Point is, one, the fear helps to create a great degree of reverence and respect. Nonetheless, jumping off of a cliff or out of an airplane can be trying. It can be trying. Hello, Amitha. Hello, Vicky. Hello, Paul Whitlock. So I'm going to go inside. It requires to be brave to wake up. Let me fall inside. Nothing really to say except how are you today? Are you waking up? Or are you hitting snooze on your clock? Rock around your clock. Is your clock being rung quite often? Tick tock, 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 tick tock. Are you in that? Or have you taken the batteries out of the grandfather clock, that which has been instilled in you from your ancestors before, what you call yourself? If you're taking the batteries out, done with the belief, I'm willing, wanting, in my cup, the beautiful possibility, my divine birthright, right, which is to simply wake up. If you expect to find something in waking up, you are going back to sleep. If you expect in your waking up that you're going to find something, you have just fallen not only from grace, but back to sleep. Deep sleep. You lunge yourself into. That's okay. Children are beautiful when they sleep. Are they not? Right? It simply is. You're just sleeping. The one being watched upon as the child sleeping. Sometimes the children are weeping in their sleeping. It's called nightmares. And your waking-eyed state, as if what you call it, how is your life? Are you living your dreams? Or are things nightmareful? Are you careful? But the question really becomes, are you dareful to step off that cliff, out of that plane, out of that perfectly good airplane, to fall into the net of light that has always not only been there, it holds everything together as the truth. The only reason one would ever fall through the net is by believing in something that does not align with the truth. There is nothing else. There is nothing else. You can call this one of the scriptural quotes in the religion of there is nothing else-ism. The religion of there is nothing else-ism. The net of light captures you when you vibrate to the net of light. It's a very fine vibration. Kid yourself not. In its subtlety, it is divinely, universally powerful. It's that very still spot. Be still and know that I am God, and I permeate everything in existence. And only your resistance and persistence to that very silliness will bring you back to a point like you're experiencing right now, right here in this moment, giving you another lesson, dose, hopeful, beautiful prayer to take what we share with you and pass that down the line. You don't belong to anyone. You are mine. Thee, thine. We are intertwined. We are spirit, Yanava. God bless you. Be well. Be healthy. You will be more healthy simply by being well. Now, well, what are you going to do? There's a lot of nonsense that's flying all around you. Doesn't mean it's not purposeful that you are in your homes. Take this precious time. Spend that precious dime that you swore it's so shiny you would never spend. Buy your candy with it. Taste the honey. Shh. Be quiet. Wake up. Allow the sun in you to rise. Dear Lord, I am so in bliss right now. You are love beyond measure. You are a treasure to me. I love being with you. I love doing what I do. Hello, Darrell. Hello, Patty. There's nothing you could possibly want. I understand want. I'm human. When we start to step our toe into the divine ocean of wanting nothing, then everything we can possibly want before we did said thing, we begin to get. Do you get it? I hope you do. I got it, and I'm still getting it. I will see you really soon. Vicky, thank you. The best part of waking up is Folgers in your cup. So I created the best part of waking up is wanting it in your cup. I love you.